This pretty much started my garden. You got strawberries here, and the row beside it is like all my herbs and stuff. I got cilantro and I got oregano, and that row over there is some cabbages that I started. I hope they don't bolt on me. They don't really get too hot here, you know, if you keep them watered down. But as y'all can see, I got the way that the camera's face where all those clouds is, that's east. And all the way around here is just open. You understand? Going from the south all the way to the west, so I get plenty of sunlight. This row is my zucchini row. You know, you keep them about 2 or 3 feet apart. That over there is my squash. You see some of them coming in already. And these plants ain't no older than about a month, so you know, it all depends what you put in your soil. You want to get plants really going, give them nitrogen, and when you start seeing them put on fruit, shoot them up with 10-10 or just give them phosphorus, and they'll go for you. This is my bean row. I got pintos, I got lima beans, and as you can see all the way down, the last 2 rows of screen beans, all that stuff coming up. I started my corn. I just got to fill in these rows because I germinate a lot of my stuff, because like I say, I don't like putting stuff out young and when it's still cold. So finally starting to warm up, so now I start to sow some seeds direct to the ground. This is my potato patch. You can see the potatoes coming up. This whole patch right here is potatoes, y'all. Over here, I got basil, purple basil chives. You know, I always start a little herb garden. This whole section, I got to till this back up and fill these rows back in. I got watermelons right here started. As you can see, those coming up. That's cantaloupes. These are peppers. Here and all the way there. Peppers love hot weather, so they'll do good. This is my hoop house where I have my tomatoes and I have my cucumbers in here. As you can see, the tomatoes, I got some of them caged up already, some of them are not. I like big tomatoes, and then I also got some for stewing. I think those are called Roma tomatoes, and that one right there is a beefsteak. This right here is my cucumber patch, and as you can see, I got some coming up. So they all coming up. This middle section right here is starting to come up, so by the time all this come up, it'll fill in real nice, and it'll look pretty good. That's pretty much it, yo. Besides I forgot to show y'all my trees. Oh, I have this right here is a pink lemonade blueberry tree. I meant bush. I got them spaced out about, I want to say about 10 feet apart. This is a raspberry bush. This is a blueberry bush. This is a raspberry bush. I kind of alternate them. I like to have more than one so they can pollinate real well. This is a blueberry bush. It's a raspberry bush and a blueberry bush. This is the start of my grapevine. What I want to do whenever it starts to fill in is take it in the opposite way about another 12 feet and put a cage across the top and just let them crawl across it. Believe it or not, this little tree right here, if you can see right here where I cut it off at, it was dead. This little branch was not on here, and this branch right here was the size of this one about a week ago. And as y'all can see, this is a ponderosa lemon. This thing has turned into a whole, it's starting to branch out and turn into another tree again. I left it out over the winter and didn't realize that it had got a little bit of frost had got to it. But for the most part, it's growing back. So this year I'll be sure to cover them up. Remember, if it ever gets below 30 for citrus trees, especially if they're not established, you know, the branches they'll get woody on you, and your leaves, or you know, you can pretty much kill a young tree. But for this one came back, so that's a ponderosa lemon. I got lemon trees back here. Let's see what we got here. This is a Eureka lemon tree. I just brought this one. Alright. Like I said, that was a ponderosa lemon right there. It was bigger than that, but I had cut it back. And as y'all can see, it's a branch growing outside on both sides, so that'll come back. I got this is what is this? Loquat, Lakeland Loquat. It's a lemon tree. I got this from Lowe's. Like I said, whenever you're planting these citrus trees, always make sure you give them, make sure the soil is acidic, and give them some starter food, and just let them go. Like I said, I live in zone 8, and yeah, my property is pretty big and it's open over here, so I get sunlight as soon as it come up from the east, and then I get sunlight as soon as it even when it's going down in the west. I mean, because it's just so open over here. So that's the Loquat. Oh yeah, check this out. This is another one of the trees I left out last year. It's a Kalamata orange. Believe it or not, these leaves just came back on here. This whole tree had dropped all its leaves over the winter, and it pretty much did not look this way 2 weeks ago. But let me show y'all something. You see right there? That is a flower bud. So this thing is starting to fruit. It's got several of them on here. And you see right there, there's another one. Hope the camera can pick that up. But yeah, it's got a little fruit coming back on it. And this one down here is another Kalamata orange. It's this one was more of a tree type. I think that one was more of a bush. But now that it's in the ground, it'll turn into a tree. It'll get bigger. This is one I bought from Fast Growing Trees about a year and a half ago. That's how big that thing got. Like I said, I'm in zone 8. So we don't really get a lot of frost. But it gets cold, but it don't get no colder than maybe 30 degrees here most of the time. This right here is a pink lemon tree. I bought this from Lowe's. I mean, it's looking pretty good. I mean, with the way things going, y'all, I would suggest that no matter who you are, even if you ain't got enough land, you can get you some grow bags and grow you some trees, or especially vegetables, man. You can do that. Get you like 3-gallon bags or some 7-gallon bags, and you can grow you some vegetables, at least some fresh vegetables. This right here is a Washington navel tree. It's the same age that tree I just showed y'all, the Kalamata, the orange tree. It's about 1.5 years old. But yeah, y'all, you know, start growing you some food. That's the purpose of me starting this channel, because I watch a lot of urban gardeners and people that live in the city, and I notice a lot of the people that I watch, they encourage people to grow food. So I said, that's the same thing I want to do. I want to encourage people to grow food. Grow food, and if you got land, plant you some trees, and plant you plenty of them. Just don't plant you trees for shade. Plant you some trees that's going to grow you some food. It's the best thing y'all can do, man. I ain't pretty much doing too much today, y'all. Just wanted to show y'all my garden and how I set things up. I got trees running down this side. I got trees running down the back behind the garden. Then I got trees running down this side of the property line. And, just trying to fill it in as I go ahead, as I go forward. I started gardening as soon as I moved here. We had the house built in 2015. We moved in 2016. And I think 2017, right at the beginning, I started gardening. Because I started watching things and seeing how things were going on in the world. And I said, man, I got to have, I'd rather have my own food source set up so I don't have to be going through what people are going through now. People running to the stores and they're trying to get food. And it's hard for them to get food and find toilet paper and little essential things like that. So, become independent, y'all. Do what you have to do out here. Save your seeds. If you got squash and anything that you grow in your garden, it produces a seed. If you let collards and cabbages and salads, any kind of leafy green, it'll go to seed after it's then went through its season. You'll see little pods come on there and you just collect them seeds. The same thing with tomatoes. You can just take a tomato, you grow it big as you can get it, let it get full of seeds, and cut it open and get the seeds out of it. Peppers the same way. Put them on a paper towel, let them dry. Zucchini and squash, grow them as big as you can, and let them cut it open, get the seeds out of it. Potatoes, not so much, but you can just replant a potato. You don't have to have it from seed. If you grow you a bunch of potatoes, you just put them in a dark area, cool and dry, and they start to form eyes, and then the next year you can put potatoes in the ground. Now, sweet potatoes ain't the same. Sweet potatoes grow little slips. Only thing I just get you like 2 or 3 or maybe 4 yams and put them in a jar, or put them in a, somewhere where you can add water and set the potato on top. And I guarantee you in about 2 weeks, it'll be growing slips. You have plenty of roots. 2 potatoes. I was watching Led Farmer. I think he had maybe 5 or 6 potatoes. And he had all those slips that him and his wife put into the ground. So, watch channels like that, because they're very educational. And what I want to do, I want to try to bring y'all a little bit of educational things I know from gardening myself. So just keep a lookout, J Blue the Gardener, and I keep y'all updated. I got a Clementine orange tree coming this week, so I'll take y'all ahead with that and let y'all see how I plant and put them in the ground. Until next time, y'all be safe, man. Get you a garden going if you can. Like I said, you don't need to put it in dirt. Buy you some grow bags. I'll show y'all all that stuff. But until the next time, man, stay safe and stay gardening.